founder of the Leadership Development Institute, Dr. Bambade Shakoor-Abdullah found her true calling 26 years ago when she returned to the UIC School of Public Health to pursue her PhD. Dr. Bambade was the first African-American PhD graduate from the UIC School of Public Health. Dr. Bambade is a Director at Large on the Council of Islamic Organizations of Greater Chicago's board. She currently serves as principal of CMECA, Chicago Metropolitan Educational Center for Community Advancement, a faith-based elementary school located in South Holland. She has worked on several initiatives on violence intervention. In 2012, she wrote a resolution that was sponsored by State Representative Esther Golar and passed unanimously by the Illinois House of Representatives, entitled A Public Health Approach to Faith-Based Violence Prevention. In the current Illinois General Assembly of 2013, she contributed to writing the Youth Jobs Bill for Violence Prevention, sponsored by Senator Matty Hunter. Governor Pat Quinn appointed her to serve on the Muslim American Advisory Council. Dr. Bambade and husband, CPA Shakoor-Abdullah, radio host and retired Muslim prison chaplain, live in South Holland. Please welcome Dr. Bambade.
Community Service Award presented to Dr. Bambade Shakoor-Abdullah for excellence, devotion, and outstanding service in community effort. Your willingness to go extra mile to make this world a better place for humanity is greatly appreciated. May Allah reward you.
Alhamdulillah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I am truly humbled by everything that has gone before me. And I wondered why, Allah would choose me to have this great opportunity. This award is truly precious to me. Although I have received many awards from some of the largest Christian churches in the city, Chicago Public Schools, Cook County Jail, Chicago Housing Authority, and University of Illinois, I have never received an award from my Muslim brothers and sisters. This is important. This is important to me because they know what is expected of me as a Muslim and whether I measure up to what Allah expects Muslims to do. Supporting, nurturing, and enduring. I wondered what Sister Karen thought I had done that was worth recognizing. And then I received some questions from her that I really didn't answer. She asked me what motivated me to work in interfaith. And I've been doing it for about 8 years, and I have not been successful. But I think perhaps the thing that she saw was the endurance and the perseverance. And why? Because I desire to do what I believe my Lord has called me to do. As difficult as it may have been, not just in terms of, immigrant community, but even within my own community, it's challenging because we come from different places and different spaces, and we have different experiences. And we know we live in the Midwest, this is the town of communities and neighborhoods. And we all live in our own neighborhoods, and we're very comfortable with living in our neighborhoods, but unfortunately we don't realize that in the Midwest, this is the most segregated part of our country. And Allah created us different so that we might know one another. And as Muslims, more importantly, because I believe, in terms of, African-American Muslims came here hundreds of years, even before Columbus was here. So I believe that Allah intended for us to be here, and He intended for us to be here for a reason. And I don't think He intended for us to isolate ourselves or to separate ourselves. And at this time, I believe we must begin to come together to do what Allah intends for us to do. Now, we don't come with a lot of wealth and resources, but obviously you have a lot of wealth and resources. But I believe because, as the Holy Quran says, surely with adversity comes ease. And as a people, we have struggled, but through our oppression and all that we have gone through to come back to find Islam and to struggle to maintain that, not just to have it, but to go and teach it. not too far from here, there are communities that are struggling. We talk about violence, oppression, poverty, and homelessness, and we have it right here. And I believe I know He has called, inshallah, us to address that. Because the violence that affects, Chicago has the highest violence in the country. Right here in our communities. And if Allah hasn't given us what we need to change that, then He hasn't given it to anybody. And if He has given it to us, then He has given it to us to take out there. And I really applaud Sister Karen, because when I came in, I said, I think she's really doing the same thing that I'm doing. And it's a struggle and it's a battle. Because people don't see, and if you don't feel it, a lot of times we don't feel something, we don't hurt, we don't move. And I know you don't feel it, and you don't see it with your children. But this is what I believe Allah has called some of us to do, and especially with your young children. What you are raising them to do is so that when they come up and grow, they are to change that. There's no way we can live here as Muslims and say that we are Muslims and not change the circumstances that are around us, inshallah. So I really appreciate the opportunity, but I ask you, in what Allah has blessed you to do, and you are here still in this fair city that we have, and you've seen them time after again, talking about the tragedy that exists, and no one can do anything about it. And if we do, and we do truly believe in our Holy Quran and what Allah is capable of doing, then we will show them what we can do and what Islam will do. Because I understand, I know in the Bible, in the Holy Quran it says Allah will not change the condition of a people until they change that which is within their own self. You don't know that no one has brought God to these people in these communities. No one has done that. Now, when I was young, I grew up in Cabrini. Now, I remember when the churches used to come and they'd have little storefronts, and they would come and they'd have after-school programs, and they would teach people about God. Now, I'm sure as Muslims, there's some things that we can do to take God to these people who God has not been brought to, so that we can change our lives. I think we call that dawah, inshallah. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.